The day offered no comfort. A sky of bruised pewter pressed down. It leant heavily on the city's shoulders. Everything seemed muted, drained of vibrancy. Colors were shy, retreating into shades of grey. The usual urban clamour felt subdued, almost apologetic. This was a backdrop for stern pronouncements, for architecture that did not seek to coddle. It was a day for concrete truths. And one such truth dominated the skyline. A stark, uncompromising statement against the oppressive clouds. There it stood, a titan of textured concrete. It did not apologize for its existence, it did not blend, nor did it seek approval from the lesser structures huddled at its base. This tower was a declaration. Raw, unadorned, its surfaces spoke of the shuttering that birthed them, wood grain imprinted like ancient fossils, a testament to its making. Some might call it harsh, unfeeling. They would be missing the point entirely. Its honesty was its primary charm, a brutal virtue in a world of veneers. The material itself was a character, concrete, not the slick, polished stuff of modern lobbies. This was concrete with grit, with history. It absorbed the flat light, refusing to reflect it glibly. Instead, it revealed its own subtle variations, a patchwork of tones from damp elephant hide to dried riverbed clay. Each panel a slightly different story, each pour a frozen moment. This was not a building trying to be pretty, it was a building being, unflinchingly itself, a stoic giant. Its presence was undeniable, a gravitational pull for the eyes. You could try to ignore it. You might attempt to focus on the fussy details of older, more ornamented buildings. But your gaze would be drawn back, inevitably, to the sheer unyielding mass, to the quiet confidence of its bulk. It was a benchmark, a point of reference in the sprawling urban narrative. A silent guardian, or perhaps a brooding overlord, watching the city unfold beneath its considerable shadow and imposing form. Approaching this behemoth was an exercise in shifting perspectives. From a distance, it was a singular monolithic statement, a vast grey finger pointing at a disinterested heaven. But as one drew nearer, subtleties began to emerge. The initial assumption of a simple block started to fracture, edges sharpened, lines that were once blurred by distance resolved into definite, purposeful strokes. The giant began to show its complex hand. It was not merely big, it was composed, a careful arrangement of formidable parts. The first surprise was the play of recessed planes. What seemed flat from afar revealed depth. Windows were not mere punctures, they were canyons, set back deep within the concrete folds. This created pockets of profound shadow. These shadows moved with the slow crawl of the hidden sun. They gave the facade a dynamic quality, a slow-motion ballet of light and dark. Sections jutted out unexpectedly, bold cantilevers defying gravity with an almost arrogant ease. The structure was not static, it was a series of controlled explosions, frozen in time. These were not accidental shapes, this was considered geometry. Angles intersected with deliberate force, horizontal lines stretched across the vertical thrust, creating a tension, a dialogue between ascent and grounding. The raw concrete was no longer just a material, it became the medium for a three-dimensional essay, an argument in reinforced stone. Each facet seemed to catch the meager light differently. One moment, a surface would be flat and dull, the next a slight shift in viewing angle, and it would reveal a hidden texture, a subtle sheen. It was like watching a vast mineral creature slowly awaken, or perhaps a geological formation being meticulously carved by unseen forces. The initial impression of brute strength began to meld with an appreciation for intricate design. The scale remained immense, but within that scale a finer grain of thought became apparent. The tower was not shouting, it was speaking. In a deep, resonant baritone, its language was that of form, mass, and the honest display of its structural bones, revealing its secrets guardedly. The metaphor of a bloom is not one readily associated with concrete. Yet here it was, not a delicate, petal-soft unfolding, This was a bloom of sterner stuff, a geological efflorescence. As you moved around its perimeter, or as the day's reluctant light shifted, new aspects unfurled, layers peeled back. What was shadow became solid. What was solid dissolved into surprising voids. The building performed a slow, deliberate dance, revealing its core geometry piece by piece, a structured, robust blossoming for all to witness. Consider the interplay of its stacked elements, blocks upon blocks, yet not simply piled. They were offset, rotated slightly, creating a spiraling upward momentum. Each block was a chapter, each recess a pause. The facade was a complex tapestry of these repeating yet subtly varying units. It was a rhythm made visible, a concrete music frozen in the sky. The sheer repetition, far from being monotonous, created a powerful sense of order, of an underlying logic that governed its growth towards the grey, indifferent sky above. Hidden courtyards and internal light wells hinted at further complexities within. Terraces emerged at unexpected heights, like ledges on a man-made mountain. These were not mere decorative afterthoughts, they were integral to the design's unfolding narrative. They suggested a life within the colossus, a function that dictated its fascinating, multifaceted form. The tower was not just an object to be looked at, it was a place, a destination, a vertical landscape of its own with hidden valleys and exposed peaks. This unfolding was not gentle, it was assertive. The edges remained crisp, the concrete unyielding, but the effect was undeniably one of revelation, like a complex puzzle box finally giving up its secrets. The building seemed to expand as you understood it more. Its internal logic became external. Its structural honesty was a form of beauty often overlooked. This was architecture that demanded attention. It rewarded sustained observation with a deeper appreciation of its carefully orchestrated, unfolding composition. It was a flower of the hard earth. Ultimately, the tower's majesty resided in its scale, and the intelligence with which that scale was handled. It did not just occupy space, it defined it. It carved out a significant portion of the sky. It became a landmark not by shouting for attention with garish colors or reflective fripperies, but by the sheer, undeniable power of its presence. Its silhouette was instantly recognizable. A modern ziggurat, a testament to ambitious construction and bold vision, standing firm against the passage of time. There was a surprising grace to its immense bulk, a certain elegance in its robust lines, the way the geometric forms interlocked, the way light and shadow animated its surfaces. This was not the delicate grace of a filigree screen. It was the grace of a mountain range, of a great cliff face, a natural, elemental beauty translated into man-made form. It possessed a timeless quality, as if it had always been there, and always would be, a permanent fixture in the ever-changing urban theatre. To stand beneath it was to feel a sense of awe, the kind of awe inspired by great feats of engineering or by the raw power of nature. It made you feel small, but not insignificant. Rather, it connected you to something larger, something more enduring. The craftsmanship, though focused on raw materials, was evident. The precision of the pour, the alignment of the panels, the sheer audacity of its construction. It was a monument to human ingenuity, a concrete ode. This concrete bloom, this tower of layered geometries, was more than just a building. It was a statement, a landmark of profound character. It challenged perceptions of beauty. It demanded a different kind of appreciation, an appreciation for honesty in materials, for boldness in design, for the dramatic interplay of mass and void. It stood as a proud concrete flower against the city's grey canvas, a stoic, unforgettable presence, deeply rooted in the urban soil, forever reaching for the sky.